On this week's City Skylines 2 o'clock, has there been a City Skylines 2 image leak? Load Order mod has been superseded. We check out the new DLC hotel models, another top tip of the week, and welcoming back this week's special guest, This Old Gamer.
Well, hello, BonBon. Thanks for having me back on the program again. I'm excited to be back on Cities Skylines 2 o'clock, and the ratings were through the roof last time, so I hear. So my agent told me, at least.
You're lucky enough to have an agent. I barely have a box of tissues. This is how things are. Anyway, how has your game been? The reason why I ask, obviously, we've had a DLC update with the hotels and resorts even. Easy for me to say. And it's broken a few people's games. How has yours been?
It seems to be okay. Now, I've been working some doubles and not been at home, but when I did load it up just to see, it seems like everything is fine. I noticed there was a few issues with a little strip of a highway that I was using Bob, the mod Bob on, and I saw some of the lights were a little messed up, but other than that, it loaded okay, which seemed to be what I was hearing was kind of there was some issues with the loading screen mod possibly. So that part was okay, but yeah, that was the only thing I really noticed.
Indeed, yeah, the loading screen mod it seemed to have been a problem for a lot of people. Was a problem for me, and I'm surprised. I mean, I remember I'd subscribe to a thing and it would stay current. I don't know if it's my memory playing tricks on me, but I'd subscribe to something and it would update on itself. And so loading screen mods, if you're having problems loading up your game, certainly try unsubscribing and resubscribing to loading screen mod peeps, because that was definitely a solution for me. But is it just me remembering that mods would self-update, or is it just plain tricks?
That's usually how it works. I mean, a lot. You push play, and usually things just seem to happen. And of course, these creators, hey, look, they have lives like me and you and everybody else out there, and they're not gonna be able to necessarily just drop everything and fix these mods. But it seems like this time a lot of people have jumped on and fixed them, and hats off to all those folks out there that doing hard work and allowing us to have even more fun with this game. So
we're blessed. Such a strong modding community. It's unbelievable. Now, speaking of, we've got a new mod to play with. Now, it's been out a few months, and I'm really sharp on what's new released, whatever, on the workshop usually. But this one slipped me by. But it's now becoming the mainstream mod for running and making sure that everything's working fine with the game. It's called Skyve. It's Skyve. It's by Chameleon TBN and a team of minions that obviously work with them. And it's a replacement for the load order mod and the compatibility mod, and works in conjunction with the loading screen mod, which you do still need. Do you know anything about that yet?
Yes, I have seen it in the workshop, read all about it, looked at various screenshots of it. I've not actually took the plunge and subscribed yet, but it is fascinating.
Well, I'd say if you had the load order mod and the compatibility mod, it's definitely a switch over job, and I wouldn't hold back. It's fairly intuitive as well. Let me just read you from the workshop page, from Chameleon's own words here. So Skyve is the fresh remake of the previous load order mod 1 and 2 and compatibility report. It features a completely new and slick user interface, integrated and real-time compatibility management, advanced filtering, dark mode, find it, custom tags, Linux and Mac OS compatibility, and much more. Now, there is a beta version, or a beta version, depending on which side of the pond you're from. You can only have one version at a time. So if you have the beta, don't have this version. And if you have this version, don't have the beta. If you're coming from Load Order Mod 1, then your previous settings will carry over and your previous profiles will be converted once you open the new tool. It has many features, just a few of them here. Custom profiles to have as many setups as you want for your mods and your assets. It will exclude mods and specific assets from your game as per your requirements. You can keep track of outdated mods or packages which haven't been correctly downloaded. There's also the compatibility report and loading screen mod built in as well. So any mods that are not working with each other, any that have gone obsolete, it will notify you. And in terms of loading screen mod, you can do all the usual functions through that. You do still need the loading screen mod, but it runs through Skyve. It's absolutely amazing, and the whole user interface is really intuitive as well. Very impressive work from Chameleon and the team there. On top of all of that, it does include, or it's actually run from, an external app. So you can actually run the app without running the game, and you can get organized with your mod setups and your profiles and making sure that all your assets are working, none are broken, without even launching the game, which is an absolute amazing bonus. How are you wetted for this now? Are you wanting it now?
Yeah, that does sound very, very useful. And I think, I as much as the compatibility report mod was very helpful, running that HTML file, going into your default browser to look at it and things of that nature, a lot of back and forth. So this seems like it's a lot more streamlined. And you're right, the user interface is tremendous. I mean, it looks like something... it looks like something you normally wouldn't see in the Cities Skylines realm, I guess. And, it'll be interesting to see how that, Game Anarchy mod also has like a kind of a compatibility report when you fire up the game, which is something that's mentioned in this mod. So I'll be interested to see how those two work together. But, I mean, the Game Anarchy one worked fine with the compatibility mod. I'm sure this one will. It doesn't say anything... to say, it doesn't say that there's any incompatibilities there. So yeah, I mean, coming out of your mouth, it makes it sound very well. But I mean, you make a lot of things sound great.
Well, I mean, what will be great is I'm understanding, I may be misunderstanding, but I am understanding that this and a few of these very modern, most recently released mods are going to work with Cities Skylines too. I'm guessing this is the harmony aspect of it, so it can effectively almost plug into the new game. So I think aspects like that, if we can get used to the likes of Skyve now and learn all of its little nuances, once a new game comes out, we won't even have to worry about mods. Whereas we've been worrying about mods almost ongoing for the last, how many years has Cities Skylines been out? 8 years now. So it's going to be, I like to say, it's going to be definitely a kickstart, assuming that I'm understanding that right.
Yes, and I'd also like to point out that it is pronounced beta. Beta is what us Americans eat generally around Thanksgiving.
Beta?
Oh, beets. I'm sorry.
Oh, beets. I see where you're coming from there. Yeah, that's a very strange American delicacy. I mean, we have beetroots over here, but
yes,
it's a very acquired taste. I'm not a fan personally.
Yeah, me neither.
No. Anyways, so we've got all of that. And I know a few of you are going to be hanging around for this image leak. That will be coming along very shortly. But there was one more thing we need to cover with the updates that we've just had. and that is with the Hotels and Retreats DLC. There's been plenty of coverage through the official Skylines channel and certain other YouTubers who have shown like all the features of the new DLC. But I don't know if anybody's really showcased the new models. So I think that's something I would like to do about now. So if you're ready, I think we should cue the video.
Fire at will.
Yes. So, right, we've got a whole bunch of these new hotels. The first one is the budget hotel. Must be one of the three entry level hotels. What do we think to this little model?
Well, I spent my honeymoon at this hotel, actually. No, I like this one. You know, it's pretty straightforward. This is what you would think when you think a budget hotel. I like it.
Yeah. Then we have the rental cabin, which is basically everything you'd expect. I think that's a little bit more than the budget, though. I'm looking at that thinking that's probably out of my price point.
Yeah, probably out of mine as well. But yeah, I like the detailing on the roof on this one. Looks like something work great in a natural scene, like out in the woods somewhere. So.
Mm-hmm. Now one for the youngsters. This is the Town Hostel. So if you're 16 and looking to get away from mum, then maybe this little place is for you.
I don't know what any of that means, but I do like the roof props on this one. I really do. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Then we have the inspirationally named Small Hotel.
Yes. Very clever indeed. That paradox. But you know, I like that. I like the little diagonal parking spots and that little fountain. You know, my feelings on fountains. I've got about 100 in my current build. So nice asset there.
Can't beat a good fountain though.
No.
This is the Old Inn.
That is indeed. Oh, that's something you'd see maybe in your homeland. I really like that one too.
Old. It's not that old.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah. You know, Bob will clean those hedges right up. I would take those out, but otherwise, I like that.
I'd agree with you there. Yes. The Roadside Motel. This feels more American.
Oh, absolutely. This is actually where I spent my first anniversary here, BonBonB, and this one is yes, that is Americana right there, right on the side of the interstate. Someplace you'd have to stay because all the other rooms are booked around. So,
indeed. Now we're up to some of the bigger stuff. This is the City Hotel.
I like it. I like it. I like the little chirper there on the front. Nice detail all around. Little balconies on the corner.
Yeah,
very beautiful.
Yeah, I think that's the hotel logo, isn't it? Which we can switch up. I think that's how that works. Now we got the Mountain Lodge, which seems very alpine, very Central Europe to me.
Yes, Central America, Colorado is another place you'd see a place similar to this. Another very nice asset. I like the little hidden garbage bin there on the back.
Oh yeah,
looks good. Looks good.
Then the Heritage Hotel. So we're into the 3 premium hotels now. The ones that you work up. You can run your events from these.
Yes, this one looks really good. This is the sharpest one. Well, there's one more to go that I think might be the sharpest in the pack, but I really like this one. Now, you do have to be from one of those 4 countries on the flags to stay there, though.
Good to know. Right, this is the Deluxe Hotel. Very Spanish influenced, I think.
Yes, definitely a different vibe. This one would work great in a tropical build, I think. Love the pools, lots of details around those, and you could, definitely throw some props on there. It looks great.
And then the Design Hotel. Hang on, no, I think I've missed one somewhere. This isn't the Design Hotel. I'm not sure. I think I've missed one off of my list. But this is a castle. Ooh, it's a castle hotel.
Yes, ooh, it's a castle hotel. That's really all you can say about this one. Yeah,
Very
By
Hog.
default, that's going to be on what map before too long?
Yeah,
Somewhere in the valley.
it's Hogwarts special. Yeah, I think this might be the deluxe hotel. I'm not sure what went wrong. I failed very badly here. Shall we start from the top? No, let's carry on.
This is actually this is the Venetian in Las Vegas. It's basically modeled after that. But no, this one looks really good. I love the big letters there on the side.
Yeah, now this is the designer hotel. I remember this one. Very modern, very sprawling. I love this.
Yep, I could just see running like a tram like through that or around it or by it or whatever. That would be really cool. But yeah, very sharp, very slick, very modern, and something that could add to any city, really.
Yeah, I can see that going to Sloop John Island very easily, that one.
Oh, yes. Nice plug.
Yeah, indeed. Now, ocean resorts. So we've got two water-based hotels as well.
Yes. Yes. Both of these are outstanding. How would you, wouldn't that be wonderful to stay there? What a view that would be. I wonder if you'd get seasick staying there, though. That would be the question.
Maybe on this one, this is the boat hotel, the inspirationally named boat hotel. Got to be honest though, I'm not so taken by the boat model on this one, but for me it's the weakest hotel of the lot. But what do you think?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. These are not exactly what you would see. There is boat hotels. That is a actual thing in the world, but I don't think that's the type of boats you would necessarily see there. But still cool to be added to this pack. So
Yeah, it's a special thing, isn't it? It's a special thing. But
absolutely.
yeah.
I also like to add $7.99 for the hotels and retreats. So I was thinking it might be closer to the normal $14.99, but I guess they kind of save that for ones that kind of do a lot more
Yeah.
overall game changing stuff. But
Yeah. Well, they've called it a mini update, haven't they? So,
right.
but it certainly does look value for money. I was very happy to buy it. Right. Anyway, it's about time. It's about time we did this City Skylines 2 image leak. Many of you may have already seen it. It was part of an Instagram stories direct from City Skylines, and this was used as the background image. One can only assume it is from Cities Skylines 2. I'll just very briefly say that I like what I'm seeing. I appreciate it is only a corner view of a corner and from quite distance, so we're not getting too much given away. There's, some repeated buildings in there, and it does look a little bit 3D isometric, a bit phone gamey from this angle. But what do you make of it?
Good shadows, good depth to that picture. I think that I'm intrigued by where this cruise ship is sitting. It's close to that dock to the point that you would think that maybe you're going to be able to see people getting on and off of it. Also, too, if you look in the distance, you can see kind of images of a possibly other side of this body of water, a very large skyline of sorts. So kind of shows you, possibly could show you just how big the maps are for the second game. I do like the shadow and the detailing on these buildings look good. Yeah, there are some repeats of some buildings there, but I mean that's real life. You're gonna see that kind of stuff when they're especially when they're like side by side. But yeah, everything looks pretty sharp in that. I would say that's definitely a graphical update. And the way this was posted by Paradox, they were basically saying this is a screenshot. So I don't know. I'm intrigued. Being a former SimCity person, isometric views do not bother me one bit. Obviously, I really want to just scroll my mouse wheel up to zoom in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's exciting. We're getting to that point. I'm sure it's coming soon. We're going to get some real images.
I'm sure you're right on that one. I'm sure you're right. So real images is one thing. Real tips is another thing altogether. And that's something that I'm hoping that we're going to really pride ourselves on this show. I'm hoping you have got a cracker of a tip for us this week.
Yes. I have a cracker indeed, sir. My cracker would be it's a procedure object based one. And basically on my latest build that I was doing, I was modifying an airport. And what I come to realize is if you are using procedure objects, one thing that you really need to look into is zooming in very closely and using the hotkeys. So we're talking about Control, Alt, Shift, things of that nature. Go into your menu, read the hotkeys. They will save you a ton of time. I was one that was trying to click every single little dot using procedure objects and trying to scroll over things all the time. And you just got to read those hotkeys. Make sure you're using those. They're in a lot of mods throughout the game, but they're very important on procedure objects. It'll save you a lot of time. So that is my Ritz cracker of a tip this week.
I've got to be honest, I am definitely weak with hotkeys, especially in the game where it's point and click. It's yeah, and there are so many hotkeys with different mods and obviously different game settings as well. It's remembering B for bulldozer. I know it's vanilla base game simple, but I'm still one that will click on the bulldozer icon rather than hit the B key.
Yeah,
don't know.
They're hot for a reason.
Indeed. So yes, I suppose I could throw in my quick tip, and this is a bit self-indulgent, but in terms of inspiration, every now and then I will run my own playlist of the Cities Skylines Top 20, the chart show, and that will just refresh a whole bunch of assets from 1, 2, 3, 4 years ago that were peaking that week that will just have been forgotten about in the recent months or years. You won't find on the workshop unless you know what you're specifically looking for. So I'd recommend watching my playlist, because I do.
The tip of the week is to watch more BonBonB. I like that. That's good.
Anyway, we're just about out of time, so if you've got any last words, you've got 10 seconds.
Oh, no, I don't. Thanks for having me on again. We'll see you next time, buddy.
All right, thanks very much. Thanks to you, and hit that subscribe button.